The most dangerous number in business is 1. If you've only got one type of business, if you've only got one income stream, if you've only got one network, social network, where you are making the vast majority of your sales or branding, you've got a problem. You might not realize you've got a problem, but you've got a problem. If you are relying on one sole source of income, then what happens if and when that source of income stops working? What do you do then? What's plan B, or what's the other thing that brings in money? I'll give you an example. Loads of people are crushing it on Instagram right now because it's a really exciting, vibrant place to be. I love the place, and that's where I've actually got the most of my organic following right now, people who I haven't paid for, right? It's great. But I'm ready for when Instagram stops working, okay? Think about Facebook. If you have a Facebook page, it used to reach a load of people. Now it reaches hardly nobody organically, right? It's going to be the same thing for Instagram. You just have to learn from history. Look at what happened with Facebook, and what happened with Facebook will happen with Instagram. It's really not very complicated, okay? Instagram is owned by Facebook. So what's happening with Facebook will happen with Instagram. Now, the history of Facebook, more or less, roughly, is it had great organic reach, okay? So you could put a post and loads of people would see it, but then people wanted to advertise more and they were spending more money. Facebook can only show you so much content, okay? So what does it do? It's a business as well, right? Obviously. So you then find that Facebook gives priority to ads. More ads means less organic content. Less of your posts are reaching less people. And that's what's going to happen on Instagram. And that's what is happening on Instagram. My organic reach recently is about half of what it used to be. Okay, and my content, in my opinion, and based off the feedback I'm getting from people, is actually improving. Okay, the quality of my content. So the organic reach of Instagram is decreasing. That means if you are an influencer, but you are not advertising on Instagram and Facebook, you're screwed when this stops, and it will stop. Okay, so this is a genuine warning, and this could be a life and death warning. You think about it. Plenty of people, I know this is a really sensitive subject, but it's a very real subject. Plenty of people have killed themselves when their business has tanked. Plenty of people. There's like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people who that applies to. Okay, so this can be life and death. This can be the difference between you being able to pay the rent and not being able to pay the rent. And that shit can be life and death. Okay, so seriously, you need to really think about this. Okay, if you are overly relying on one platform, if you have no presence on Facebook, if you have no presence on LinkedIn, if you don't have a podcast, if you're not on YouTube, if you're not investing in ads. Now, I haven't talked about ads a lot recently because right now the ads that I run are for other companies, other partnerships. But you see, this feeds into what I'm talking to you about here. I'm not running ads for me. So you might think, well, if he's not running ads, I'm not going to copy him. But I am running ads all the time for my other businesses. Okay. My personal brand, I'm not heavily building up right now. But what I am doing is I am all over all the networks. So if you want me on Instagram, you'll find me. If you want me on YouTube, you'll find me. You want the podcast, you'll find it. Okay, it's all super easy to find. Okay, and I'm doing the same thing with my other businesses and my other partnerships. But I'm not just relying on one network. Okay, I'm not relying on one income source. So I've got various businesses. So that means I've got money coming in from lots of different angles. That means if, for example, my brand for whatever suffers, it doesn't really matter. Okay, I can still put food on the table. Okay, I can still pay the rent. You with me? If Instagram stops if it has no organic reach, I'm fine. I'm okay. Food is on the table. Rent is paid. Kids go to school. You with me? Okay? These are important things. These are really important things. The most dangerous number in business is 1. Are you relying on one source of income? Are you relying on one platform? You could be screwed here if you are. But there's always chance to start right now, building up on other platforms, okay? building another business, having something in your back pocket that's ready to roll, okay? I actually have my own product for me. I've got it almost, it's 99% ready. All I really need to do is run ads, yeah? I put together like a membership area. I've got a book. I've got a sales funnel, a marketing funnel. That's ready to roll, okay? And I'm happy to invest, you know, 5 grand, 10 grand, 15 grand in ads and turn that into, you know, hopefully 50% profit, 100% profit, 200% profit, right? I'm ready with that. I'm just not in my own personal space here. I'm not ready for it because I've got other things that I'm working on. But that's there in my back pocket, and it's ready to roll. Have you got that? Have you got your plan? It's not even a plan B. It's the next thing, okay? Who was saying this? Arnold Schwarzenegger was saying this the other day, that he doesn't massively like this idea of a plan B because it takes away your focus and your belief and your determination to make plan A work. I subscribe to that, okay? You need a plan A and you need to double down on plan A and you need to make plan A work. However, you also can have other plans, other things that you are doing as well. For example, let's say your business is going great and you don't want to have another business. Okay, that's fine. I'm not saying everybody needs to have multiple businesses, but you can create another income source. Okay, take 20%, use the 80-20 principle. It always works. It always works. Take 20% of your profits and invest it in property. Invest it right now, investing in businesses is probably a bad idea. Most smart investors are not investing in businesses right now, especially startups, okay? The bubble's going to burst. Everyone's been predicting it for the last 2 years. The bubble is going to burst. So I'm not an investor. I shouldn't be giving you financial advice, and don't take this as financial advice, just one person talking to another person, okay? I wouldn't invest in startups right now. But property, if you know a little bit about property or know someone who knows something about property is probably a smart move, because at the end of the day, if you can rent that property out and make a profit, if you can do an Airbnb type thing and make a profit, it's fairly stable money ordinarily, okay? It's not financial advice. I'm not qualified to give financial advice. It's just one person talking to another. And that's an example of how you can create an additional income stream without having another business. Use the 80-20 principle. If you are huge on Instagram, double down on it. Great. Make Instagram big, but have a plan. For example, if you're fully focused on Instagram, make sure you've got enough money to last you a year, so that if and when Instagram stops working, you can do something new, okay? Have a plan, okay? It's not really a plan B. It's a supplemental plan, okay? It's the 80-20 thing, where you are very focused on the thing that's working. I get that, but you've also got another project. Arnold Schwarzenegger hasn't got one project. Okay, Grant Cardone hasn't got one project. You think about all these successful people. Gary Vee hasn't got one project. They've all got various projects, various income sources. Be smart. Don't just rely on Instagram. You're watching this probably on Instagram. I mean, people will be hearing this, consuming this everywhere, but the majority of my people right now are on Instagram. Don't just rely on Instagram. Don't just rely on YouTube. Don't just rely on the podcast, okay? Don't. It's going to be a mistake and you're going to regret it. I fucked up big time doing this. Okay? This is not theory for me. This is reality that actually, if I'm being honest, hurts a little bit, because I messed up on this. I got this wrong. This is the voice of experience. This is the voice of somebody who lost a ton of money because he doubled down on one platform, on one income source, but didn't have another thing that was working in the background. Okay? I messed up big time. Don't make my mistake. Okay? I lost a lot of money because of it. Okay? This is real. Okay? Have a good day.